Hi everyone, welcome to Sandy's Scrapbooks, and we are going to be working today with the Home Sweet Home collection, and this is the November Kiwi Club Kit. This is also part of a YouTube collaboration between myself and a group of Kiwi Lane creative partners to basically showcase and focus on our Kiwi Club. And this is the design that I have come up with for this Kiwi Club set. And I'm going to kind of be playing with it a little bit back and forth so that you can kind of see where the thought process goes on pictures and matching colors and everything else. But for now, pretty much this is where I'm going with it. So everything should work out. And I think I pretty much have the color scheme done the way that I want it. I am gonna be honest with you guys. I was not thrilled with this month's paper collection. It is just not my cup of tea. So I'm just kind of making the best of it and doing what I've got with it. So bear with me. Okay. So this is my setup. This is the way I want to do all of my different templates and everything else, and I'm really happy with how this has turned out and the way I've gone about doing this. So I'm going to go ahead and start using my paper to do this with. I'm going to tell you that one of the things that I want to make sure of is this border set here. If you take a measurement, oh, that's a clear ruler. You're not going to be able to see that. I got to have a ruler y'all can see. Oh, man. All of mine are clear for all intents and purposes. All right, I'll use the big one. Okay, so what you can see is this bottom template's about 3.5 inches from the base to this point. But if you look here, it's about 5.5, almost 6 inches. I want to make sure that from the highest point on this template that it's that same 5 3/4 in size. So that's going to kind of come to play a little bit. I can always cut it down a little bit more if I don't like it. But when I first start out, I want to make sure that those two template sizes are pretty well even. Because I kind of want to set them identically on my page like so. But you know, we'll see how it works. So like I said, I want to give myself enough room on this sheet to do that. And I think it's about 10 inches. So that is right about where I am going to start my lovely cutting. Okay, I gotta move things around just a tad. And I want to make sure that when I'm cutting my paper, I'm cutting it the right dimension. Up and down this way, not cutting it this way, which would have been a really bad mistake, which I almost did. Okay, so I want to go ahead and I want to set that right about in the center so you can see, oops, how the templates sit here. Okay, so there's that one. So that gives me a little bit of play. So I'm going to go ahead and move that down just a hair, like so. Oops. Always remember that just because there are lines here and lines on the template here or here, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's where your paper has to go. You know, you can always move these templates around and play around and do whatever you like with them. So don't get locked in to the frame of mind of thinking that it has to be that way. Sorry for my hands. I have to get my scissors out. So don't get locked into that. Okay. And again, these are not perfect lines. They don't have to be cut perfectly. If you are a total perfectionist, then you're welcome to do it that way. I am not. Okay, so I want this one up this way. And I want this one down here. Okay. So you see how this one, a lot of this one is going to get covered up, so it doesn't really matter how big or little it is. So I'm not too worried about it. I'm going to erase the lines on this one a little bit. Normally I don't erase, but they're kind of out there. All right, so there. Now I've got this banner, and I'm just going to kind of choose the kind of color that I want to look at. Since this is going to be a title banner, I think I'm going to go ahead and go with a lighter, because I'm going to use my photo mats for this. So I'm going to go with this lighter tone. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and cut my photo mats right now while I have this paper out. Okay. Okay. Okay, take these ones out. The only thing that I'm not doing as I go along with this one is I'm not inking these yet, because I think I'm going to try and shorten up my videos a little bit, and I want you guys to really get a good, better idea of how I'm kind of doing this and thinking this out. Okay. And this one, I'm going to try and keep as much over here as I can for cards or whatever later. So I'm going to trace that. Okay. And again, I'm a very crisp edge person, so I want these edges nice and sharp, because that's how I like it. But if you want to take your scissors and if you want to move them and keep moving them and make them rounded, again, you know, there's no right or wrong with these templates. If you want to choose to do that, then by all means, please do that. Save that one for later. And I don't know if I'm gonna ever need that, but I'm gonna save it anyways, just in case. That little red thing keeps coming back in here. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. I think I like the look of this better with this over this banner rather than under it. I am going to put a title on here later. Probably will say Thanksgiving 2020. Okay. Those two there, that there. Now this pocket, I'm going to repeat this color here, and thankfully it was the second of the layout sets for the next set of layouts, and since I don't always use pattern paper to do my backgrounds with, I'm going to use it for this. Now also, I want this to be a pocket that this other pocket's going to sit inside of. So I'm not actually going to use this angle here. I'm going to cut this straight across. So again, one of those situations to where you do not need to follow the template exactly as the template is made. So here's that, but I'm going to use the natural line of the paper, so there's one less line I have to cut. Okay, and I'll be honest with this one, I'm just going to use my trimmer and I'm going to cut straight down the side and then cut the other two the same way with the trimmer. So Actually, I'm not going to cut those with a trimmer because I want to save as much paper as possible. Oops, get in there. Come on, scissors. Fold down. There we go. Okay. So there's that. Like so. And then my pocket, I really liked one of these sayings. Where did it go? It's hiding on me again. Oops, I lost it. Where'd it go? I had like the perfect little saying thing, and I moved it with my papers, and then I moved it and I lost it. Well, shucky darn. Okay, where'd it go? La 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 la. Ah, there it is. I put it underneath everything. There we go. All right. Good food, all the sweeter when shared with good friends. Now, if I did this on this pocket, it doesn't quite fit properly. And I really want this whole entire sentiment to be on here. So I'm not actually going to use this to cut my pocket out, but I am going to cut a smaller version of it and then put it on top of this part right here. What I am going to do is, because this is going to be that peachy cream, I want to kind of blend it a little bit. That'll work. Okay. Yeah, okay. Gonna be really careful on which direction my paper is going when I go ahead and trace this, because I want to make sure that the paper underneath is going to be usable. I can have it usable this way for a border, or I can have it usable this way. So I want to make sure that I'm keeping the integrity of the paper in that regard. Okay. And I like the stitchings on this one, so I will use those, and you'll see that in the finished product when I go ahead and get it all done for you. Okay. Yeah, like that. Okay, now here's what I'm going to do. I want to have the same angled lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of shift that template over how I want the center there and get it relatively decent. Okay, and then I'm going to keep that same shift. Okay, and for right now, I'm just worried about those two lines. So I'm going to go ahead and continue those up. And then I can shorten it up a little bit if I want to. Or make it longer if I want to as well. See, I've taken that all the way up and all the way up. So now when I lay this down on my thing, I should have a relatively good inside. There we go. Okay, just like that. And then do the same thing here on the bottom. I want to bring that line up nice and tight there. Okay. Just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to cut that right about there and across to there. Okay. Okay, so got a little, get it a little bit down farther here because I didn't go quite straight across. There we go. Straighten that out. Just like that. I'm going to go ahead and take down the sides a little bit more because I do like having a little bit more showing. And that's all she wrote. Okay. I may even bring in another color to kind of come in here on this one because this white is really kind of obnoxious. So I may bring in something else. I haven't quite decided yet. That's kind of really obnoxious, isn't it? Yeah, that's not gonna fly. Don't really like that either. Now we'll have to play with it and see how it works. Might just have to add some striping or something like that to it. We'll see. Okay. But what I am gonna do is when I do everything and tape this all down, one of the things that I want to do with this layout is I want these, and I may actually remove this because I'm going to do something. I need a little bit more room up top. I want to create an actual pocket here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm only going to put glue and adhesive here, 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 and here. I'm going to leave this top part open because what I want is I want to take some little sayings and my actual 4x6 recipe cards, my little index cards that I have for recipes, and I want to put them in like this. Okay, so you can see that a little bit. And then this one can go like that. All right, so I'm going to take and tack it down that way. And I'll do the stitching and everything else on the pockets as well. So very simple, very quick. That is pretty much the layout. I am going to throw these two in here. I want to do the pie. And the pie was the a la carte from, oh gosh, a couple of Novembers ago. It was the Thanksgiving one from last November, I think. From last Kiwi Club's kit. We need to start like labeling these. If they're Kiwi Club, I'm gonna get like a really fine tip Sharpie and start labeling what Kiwi Club they come from. Okay, that's not gonna be long enough, but ooh, look at that. See? We could do family, gather. I think they had this in mind when they did this card. Let's do fresh baked. See, I don't always have everything planned. Oops, it slipped. There you go. All right, so I want to make sure when I cut this to save those other pieces because I can still cut those other ones out later. Okay. And I think, yeah, I'm going to cut the whole thing because I can come in and add the other pieces here to these. Or ink them if I so choose. Okay. My My scissors need to be sharpened very seriously. Okay. So before embellishing anything there, you'll see the idea. Okay. My blades really need to be sharpened. Oh my goodness. There we go. And there she is. So there you go. That is the layout. I hope you like it. Very simple this month. But again, you know, when you're working with papers and everything that you don't particularly like, you just got to kind of give it a little bit of room to see where it's going to go and where it's going to take you. You may not always like how it turns out, but just try it. I'm going to actually see if I like. Oh, much better. Ha, see? Play with it. I like that better. Much better. Okay. So you may not always like how things are. You may not always like how it turns out or, you know, how it looks or whatever else. So just play around with it a little bit and, you know, do different things. Once you ink, again, when you do the inking and everything comes together after it's been inked, it changes the layout quite a bit. I mean, there is a tremendous difference between when you're inking and when you're not. It really does give you the separation of the patterns and it gives you that depth and dimension. And it is a really, really nice way to finish off your layouts. So I hope you like this video. And again, I tried to keep it a little bit short and sweet, trying to get a little bit better on time frames and speeds for y'all, because I know I can drone on and talk and talk and talk. So enjoy. Thanks for watching, and please continue along on the other collaborations and comment on all of our videos, because at the end of the month of the collaborations, we are going to offer prizes to, you know, random people that have commented on all the different videos. So please leave a comment, subscribe, and hope to see you again soon. Thanks for watching.